Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Preston and Ryan with another episode of Adventures with Pictures. And today we have a lovely special guest, Rachel Geronimo.
What's up, y'all?
And there you go. So, yeah, like I said, we're so blessed to have her on our, on season 2 of Adventures with Pictures. And so, what's been going on? Anything new in your part of the world?
Absolutely. I just came back from living in Iraq for a year. I know. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I lived in Iraq. I just been living in Chicago. I'm based in Chicago right now, so I've been here for about 5 months,
Okay.
and it's been an interesting ride. So yeah, and I'm surrounded by the snow right now, so I'm not really used to it because like you know out there in the Middle East, it's full of warmness and sunshine out there.
It's
But
hot
yeah,
out there.
yeah, it's hot out. Oh, it's hot.
Yeah,
It's
oh
not.
yeah, it's
It's
hot. It's not. Yeah,
beyond
it's
that.
not. I tell
It's
people all the time, it's a different type of hot. Like people don't
it's
understand
a
that.
different type of hot.
I went to Iraq maybe about 12 years ago or something like that, or I think
Right.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
And obviously, I was there. I was in the military, but oh, it was hot. Like I tell people all the
Hmm.
time. Like I saw one time it was like 135, 140 degrees, and I was like, man, I didn't think I was gonna make it that day. I was like, I ain't never experienced no hot like this. So
I
yeah,
thought I
it's
could do it. I really thought I could do. I'm so sorry if I'm interrupting, but
no,
like
no, no.
I
You
thought
good?
I thought I could do it because I've been to like the Philippines, Vietnam, and like Taiwan. They got some crazy, crazy weather and it's humid too. But when I was out there, I was like, wow, I'm actually like, I feel sun sick. Like there's such thing as a sun sickness. And I didn't know that would exist until I came there. I'm like, wow, I actually I feel like I'm pruning up there. And I did not feel good at all. It was a different type of hotness I couldn't explain. So yeah, I've been
Oh,
out there.
Yeah,
wow.
definitely got to drink water, as they say. Drink
Yeah, I
water.
mean, that's what's happening right
Yeah.
now.
That's it.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah. Hydration is key. Well, that's cool. That's what's up. I'm glad
Mhm.
you're safe in the snow of Chicago, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess that brings me to the segue of the first question is how
Mhm.
did you get started traveling? Like what, excited you to do that?
So I went to school for journalism and mass communication, and then I'm 26 by the way. So everybody at school at that time, they wanted to land a job right away. And you around surrounded by people who was like, oh, I need to find a job after I graduated. I was one of those people who like, I have no idea what I want to do after I graduate. And it's like, because I've been in school, for practically my whole life. And I'm just I'm about to graduate next month. I don't got a job lined up, so I really don't know what's gonna happen in my life at all. And I'm just, begging different companies to the point that I was like, I don't even know what I'm applying for anymore. Then I hit up my friend Linda, and shout out to you, Linda. She was like, I'm about to move to Taiwan and I'm about to teach. And I'm like, what?
Really?
I don't okay, cool. And then she's like, you should join me. And I'm like, I don't know about that. That's not, it's not in my field. And like, I don't know. I've never been outside of the country that before, besides going to the Philippines, visiting my family. I don't know if I feel comfortable. But she's like, you should just give it a shot. And then I was like, you know what? Why not? Because like life is too short
Yeah.
sometimes, and
Yeah.
you
What do you got
gotta
to
make
lose?
sure. Yeah, what are you gonna lose? And I was thinking like, maybe I should take a small break after like this should be my I went to college and I feel like I've been successful at that point in my life. So maybe I should change it up a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? So I decided to join her. I got the job in Taiwan and it floored me. It changed the way that I thought about the world, and I've seen things I've never seen, and now I'm just a it's addicting. It's to the point that you can't stop. It's like you've never had pizza your whole life and then you suddenly got pizza. That's a game
That's a
changer.
game changer.
It's a
Yeah.
game changer. And then it was just I mean like my whole point wasn't to it was crazy because after college you're gonna be stuck in loans and stuff like that, so I just needed to find a job. And so
Mm.
I was like, I wasn't really concentrating about the fact that like, oh, I'm about to go to a different country. I just needed the money. But then when I landed there, I was like, all right, I'm not here for the money anymore. I'm here for the experience. Like I really don't care if I have loans or if I'm broke or anything. I just need to see what's out there. And since then it just pummeled, it just floored, and I just kept going. And people start looking at me like, "Girl, you crazy? Like when you coming back?" But that's basically how my whole journey started and why I started traveling. And it just started something so small, and I never imagined it to this day. I never thought I could say that. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome. I think that's very, very dope. I mean, and just from your like Preston said, off camera, like just from your Instagram, there's so many just dope pictures. Like just you feel like you're just living vicariously through you by just the awesome shots you take and things of that nature. And
thank you, thank
absolutely,
you.
absolutely.
I
And so
appreciate it.
absolutely. And since everything looks so good, my one of my questions is like from the traveling that you have done so far, do you have, what's like one of your favorite destinations that you've been to so far?
Favorite destination?
I
Oh
know it's a tough one.
wow.
I know it's a tough
It's
one.
very hard,
Always far
but
from.
I got my favorite ones.
Oh,
For
okay.
sure. I was like, I know it's hard, but I definitely got my favorite ones.
Mhm.
Have you ever been to Rio?
Yes,
Mm-mm.
I went to Rio last year.
Wow, that place is impeccable. It is insane. Like I'm sorry, I'm gonna go so deep about this.
Oh
Go
yeah,
for
It
it.
is
Go for it.
crazy because like, I've been looking forward to go to Rio ever since I saw the Disney movie Rio. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
oh yeah.
So when I saw
Yeah.
the Disney movie Rio, I was like, wow, I gotta go to Rio. That's gonna happen for me. And I'm such a sucker for Disney, so I was like, even better. And I've been to some countries where I'm so excited to come there, but then I was a little, it wasn't what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So I was really nervous because, Rio was one of my top lists, and it was even more than what I expected. And I was just floored by it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, calm, relaxing, chill place. But you're surrounded by mountains and a city and an ocean. What's happening here? And
Yeah.
those coconuts are cracking. Like I don't like coconuts and I hate them, but those Brazilian coconuts,
Oh, I love
they oh my goodness. And the acai bowls, oh my gosh. Like
Oh
what is
man.
that?
Yeah. What is that? I never heard of what's called a acai bowl.
Acai bowls.
Okay.
You know how people like those really food gurus, they have those berries and they put it in the blender and then they put the fruit on top with the chia seeds and stuff like that. It's like the
Mm.
purple stuff. Not that other purple, you know what I mean. It's like the purple
Yeah.
yogurt and stuff. So
Okay.
the acai is it originates in like the Amazon forest. And yeah, so people pick it there and it's fresh. And wow, the people there are beautiful too. It's
Mhm.
just beautiful men and women, even the grandmas and the grandpas are beautiful. It's like even your baby is beautiful. And it's like, what's going on here? And the vibes, the people, you can find different ways. Like you can go to a party, you can relax, you can go to a book club if you wanted to. The art scene is insane. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful. Brazil is a beautiful country, and I only went to just one part of it, but I've already know that it's gonna be amazing if I travel throughout the whole
Oh yeah.
country. One of my
Yeah.
favorite places ever.
Yeah. I went last year for Carnival, and I had a
Wow.
yeah. I went there for it was like 10, 14 days, whatever. Because I went, so I did it. So when I planned the trip, I planned because I knew I was going to be just busy, immersed into the Carnival lifestyle. That I
Right.
was like, I still want to sightsee. So what I did was I went about 5 or 6 days prior to Carnival even starting, just so I can get all the sightseeing out. And then I did the whole Carnival thing, and then I came home, whatever. But it's amazing just to like go to I think it's called like the Samba Dome or whatever, and just to see like the parade. And I mean, everything was just beautiful.
I'm
Like,
so jealous. I've always wanted to go.
gotta go.
How did you book it though? Because I heard it's difficult.
So I booked it. So I used Delta excursions. So because I have a Delta
Ooh, let me
credit
write
card.
that down. Let me
Yeah,
write that
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dropping
I used
jewels.
Okay.
Delta excursions, and I booked it. I didn't even have to book it that far out. I booked it barely, maybe about 4 months out, 5 months out, or whatever.
4 months.
Yeah, I booked it in
Wow.
I want to say September, October of 2019, and then I
Hmm.
went last year February. So it's only a couple months out, and I had an amazing time. The only thing that I didn't like was my hotel because I didn't had no
Ooh.
frame of reference to be like, okay, I need to be here. Like I read a lot of things, but I went by myself, so I went solo. So safety was a very big part of my concern. So I stayed on the west side of Rio. So I always had to like catch a cab back into like the city or whatever, or the main part of the city.
Right,
But
right.
I mean, I stayed at the Marriott, so my accommodations were nice. It's just that I had to just travel back and forth. It was only like maybe 35 minutes, just one way. But
Right,
safety reasons,
right.
that's why I did it like that. But if I go back now that I know, I had no issues there, and I did
Mm-hmm,
everything.
mm-hmm,
I was out
mm-hmm,
all day, all night, hanging out. Nobody bothered me. I didn't bother nobody else,
mm-hmm,
of course.
mm-hmm.
But now, even if I went back solo, I would definitely probably stay in the heart of it and just eat all
Yes.
the food and just the drinks and I mean just the tropical anything tropical fruits or the drinks,
Right,
parties, the clubs. I mean, just the atmosphere was beautiful. I wouldn't
right.
mind seeing it outside of Carnival, when it's less people, obviously, or whatever. But
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I had a good time. I was dancing in the streets and shirt off and just
Everything is everywhere.
yeah. So
That's amazing. I'm very jealous. I have to go back for sure. For sure, I'm gonna go back.
okay, well, that leads me
Hmm.
to my next question.
Hmm.
What type of traveler are you? Like, do you do like hotels? Do you do like backpacking style hostels or?
For sure. I've definitely changed a lot as a traveler. I think the younger me was a lot. I'm very adventurous till this day. Like I love hostels, I love hotels. But I noticed when I started traveling when I was like 22, I was very hostile. That hostel life, the adventures, the $5 hostels in Thailand, and I have no idea. We all have like a compact 30 rooms of dorms, like everyone's just in each other's faces and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, at that age it's fun and stuff like that. I'm not saying that like, oh my goodness, I'm old now, but you
Mhm.
know, at 22, me was very, very just thrilling, adventurous, and she got all her thrills in and stuff like that. And I appreciate that. I love hostels. And as I continue to get older, I've noticed I like to have more of my own space. And if it
Mhm.
comes into the scenario of me wanting to have to go to a dorm, that's fine too. But if I were to stay at a hostel, I'm most likely to stay in a private room because it's just like I like my own space, but I love the communal area because as a as a solo traveler, that's the best way to meet people. It's the communal area. So that's something I like. Now with my choice of hostels, it can be a little bit more bougie, a little bit. It's one of those bougie hostels and stuff like that. It used to be like some really ratchet hostels and stuff, but I tend to be a little up there and stuff like that. It's just my comfort level. But recently, I've really appreciated, some hotel lifestyles, and it's like I like it too. Don't get me wrong. I'm still the girl that would go to the hotel and sleep, but then turn up at a hostel and like, what's good? I stay here, like, oh, where you staying? I was like, oh, I stay at the Marriott. Like, what are you doing at the hostel?
They all don't
What are
worry
you
about
doing
that.
at
I'm
the
with you guys
hostel?
today, right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm chilling with you. I'm partying tonight. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
party
I'm here. I'm here. I was like, I just have a room in the Hilton, whatever. But that's just how I am. I appreciate both lifestyles. So it's either or, but it's slowly transitioning to, more of like Airbnb, private room hostels, more hotel based. I'm just getting in
Oh,
that age.
all right. Hey, I feel you. I feel you. I understand that. And it can actually, just to piggyback off of that, it actually gets me to my next question that I thought about was like,
Mhm,
to each his own, right? When you travel, I think, me and Preston might have different lists of do's and don'ts when we travel. You might have a
mhm,
completely different list of do's and don'ts. And so, with
mhm,
that being said, when Rachel is traveling, what are some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to travel that Rachel follows?
I mean, especially as I just made a vlog about this, so keep an eye. Like, I just made a vlog about this.
Okay.
Solo traveling as a minority woman is
Mhm.
very different for me. So I'm not saying that females can't, hold their own ground, but as a female and a minority solo traveler, and I'm young, you know, like you have to stay vigilant at all times. So one of my biggest do's is to make sure like I can't just be walking around with headphones and listening to music and just, I can't just walk alone at night. Like I gotta make friends. I can't just have my sunglasses on. I have to look at people in the eye every time I'm alone. I'm by myself. And like I'm aware that like about how I look and stuff like that. So like I can't get my mind off things too hard to aware at all times. But I'm gonna um different. Did I get cut off?
A little bit, but you're back. You're back. We hear you.
Bye bye. But basically I was saying I just have my biggest do is that I have to stay aware at all times. And that's just, I mean, I emphasize this for all women too, especially with women who are in their 20s who are traveling by themselves. Like, please be aware. And another thing for me is a big do for me is just like when it comes to being under the influence, because there's a lot of situations where you can take different substances in different countries and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I get it, it's fun, but my thing is that don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to wake up the next day and completely regret it and
Mhm.
have it ruin your whole trip. And so that's my biggest do is that when you are going to be under the influence, make sure you're surrounded by people that you trust because you're in a foreign country, and make sure that you know exactly what you're doing and you're aware. Just do the best you can. So that's my thing. The list can go on, honestly. The list can go on, but those are the biggest things for me that emphasize in my own travels.
Okay. Well, follow-up question, because I know first of all, those are very, very helpful tips. I appreciate that. But just
Mhm.
to follow up on that, I know you say you recently did a blog about some of your do's and don'ts. Do you mind just plugging in like where people can find your blog to get more of these helpful
Of
details?
course. So I'm a travel blogger on YouTube. I'm about to hit 1,000 actually, so I'm really excited about that. So if you can follow me and subscribe to me at Simply Geronimo, and that's my tag for every social media. SIMPLYGERONIMO. Simply Geronimo. You can find me at all these platforms. So yeah, that's where my next vlog is going to happen. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Awesome.
Mhm.
You mentioned that, like I said, by me being in the military, being a veteran, whatever, like I think about safety all the time. Like safety, safety, safety. Anything I do, I'm be like, okay, I want to be conscious of my surrounding. Like I can't. And me being older, I'm like close to 40 now, so especially now, I'd be like, it's about 11 o'clock. Let me go ahead and hit this on.
Wrap it up.
Right,
Yeah, wrap it
right,
up,
right,
B. Like I ain't gonna be out there. Look, I don't,
right.
crazy whatever. But yeah, like I said, I do think safety first, and that's one of the things that my wife and I do discuss. Because I know she had wanted to go somewhere, and I was like, I don't know. It's kind of
Mhm.
dangerous out there in the world. But like
Mhm.
I said, it's glad to see. I'm glad to see solo female travelers. That still
Mhm.
get out there, still go out there, have a great time, and be safe. At the same time. So that's wonderful. I'm glad that
Right,
you had
right.
that you're safe and having good times. But
Mhm.
that leads me to my next question. It's sort of like a two-parter question.
Ooh.
What are some of the pitfalls that you came across on all your journeys? And then are there any, funny travel stories that you have?
Actually, there's definitely a lot of pitfalls. So many to the point that I can't even begin to explain. But probably one of the most traumatic. Should I get traumatic here?
Hey,
Hey.
you do you.
I
And if I
think
start
the most
crying, hey, just
That's when you stop. You know what? Let me put the tears on really quick. um, Probably one of the most traumatic things that I'll never forget is I got bit by a monkey in Vietnam. And
Oh,
yeah, I know. And I was the one in the group who was like, "Don't go near the monkeys. They will screw you up. Like they will. They're so mean. They're so mean, and like they would just, And I was at I don't know if you guys been to Vietnam. Have you been?
yet.
So there's okay. So I was on the Ha Long Bay area, and basically we were staying on a boat for like a day, and then there's this excursion where you can go on Monkey Island, and I was like, oh cool, I want to see some monkeys, but keep your distance, you know what I mean? So I was the one in the group because I met a bunch of backpackers. I was like, yo, monkeys are really mean and stuff like that. And we finally get on the island, and I completely disregarded everything that I said. And I was like, look at the monkeys, like, wow, it's the monkeys, And then there was this man feeding the monkey. I was like, does it bite? He's like, no, not at all. I was like, okay, cool, none of these monkeys bite. I'm just taking my phone. I'm like taking the pictures, like interacting with the monkeys. I got really close to one, and one of them goes on my shoulder, right? And I'm thinking like, this is cool. Like, I'm a traveler and so like I start taking my pictures. And then I think because humans can't understand animal feature of animal expressions, like we think what their face is making, like if the faces that they're making is cute, it's probably like a defense for them.
Mhm.
So like I'm thinking like, oh, this monkey is so cute, and then this whole monkey gang starts coming at me, and I was like, what's happening? Then I pushed the monkey off, and the other monkey just bit me in the leg. And
oh,
that's when everything just went downhill, because I was just like, what the can I say what the fuck? Am I allowed to say that? I
yeah.
was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, everything just, how in a movie everything goes slow motion and
Yeah.
everything just is over. Everything was in slow motion. I remember the details. I was like,
You're like-
what the fuck? Just got bit by a monkey. This is the craziest part, right? So I went up to my tour guide. I was like, sir, excuse me, sir, I just got bit by a monkey. I'm bleeding at this point. The first thing that I thought of, I was like, damn, I just got bit by a monkey. Two, I gotta go to the ocean, and because there's no disinfect, so salt, salt water, so I gotta disinfect it. Then I went up to the my tour guide. I was like, excuse me, sir, I just got bit by a monkey. He looked at my monkey bite. It's a big monkey bite, and he's like, oh, you're fine, you're fine. I'm like, sir, I don't think you understand. I just got bit by a monkey. He's like, monkey here is all okay. They get shot and scientists. I'm like, sir, this is not a joke. This is not a cat, a bird. This is a wild monkey. I just got bit in a foreign country. I need to go to the hospital. This could be rabies. And I don't care if you say that the whole scientists come in an island. That's not enough proof for me. That is not enough proof for me. And everybody in the group was like, oh yeah, you fine, you don't need to go. I don't care what you think. Like, I'm gonna go to the hospital. I don't care. I just got bit by a monkey. I'm sorry, it's a very long story.
No, that was funny. That's funny.
I hope you don't mind, but
is tell me how to feel about this.
Exactly. And I was like, everyone's, oh yeah, you fine. And then there was another girl who got bit. She's like, I'm cool, I'm not going to the hospital. What you mean you're not going to the hospital? What you mean? We just got bit by a monkey. So
right.
That was the most traumatic thing.
Right. So when your leg fall off, like then I got to come back and see you. Like, hey man, my leg fell off. You ain't you that's incompetent. I got bit, and you just look the other way like I'm good. Like, no, don't do that.
I know, no. So I got my rabies shots. Everything is good. Everything is taken care of. But that's probably one of the most traumatic things. I know you had another question. I forgot the other question.
Any funny travel stories?
But that will do.
Oh, that's probably one of the most craziest.
It's funny now.
It's funny now. But back then I was traumatized. I was like, I just got bit by a monkey. Nobody cares.
F monkeys. You'd be like, I don't do monkeys now.
I really don't. I don't fuck with monkeys anymore. Like, keep your
one monkey ruined it for everyone.
That monkey ruined it for all the monkeys. I don't care.
Yeah, well, my man Caesar from Planet of the Apes tried to warn y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't listen to Caesar.
exactly. That's why I was just like, you know what? No, that's not. The only monkey that I fuck with is Curious George. That's
There you
it.
go.
Like, that's the
Yeah.
only
Humans don't do
monkey.
no wrong. He like humans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What? So that
Yeah.
was it for me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Man. Well. I mean, like I said, as you mentioned, you're only 26. You got a lot of time ahead of you and things of that nature. You definitely got bit by the travel bug, and you seem to just,
Yeah.
fall in love with it. But hypothetically speaking, if you weren't traveling, or just living this life with your vlogs and stuff like that, if you weren't a traveler, what would you think you would be doing instead?
Wow. You know, that's very mind blowing, and honestly, it humbles me. But I know it's cliche to say this. I don't know. I really don't know. But I don't. If I never traveled, then I would never have a travel channel. If I never travel, I'd probably be sad
Hmm.
in a weird 9 to 5 job. Not saying that that's not the lifestyle. If that's your lifestyle, that's cool and that makes you happy. Respect to you, but I probably would have been very in a very dark place, and I'd be stagnant, and it wouldn't be healthy for me. So,
I got you.
because I probably have a 9 to 5 job. I'm struggling. So that's
Hey,
probably
you know
me.
what? And on the show, we appreciate people who would just be real and just honest.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
yeah, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. I mean, like I think a lot of people can feel some type of emptiness if they can't find their travel. I mean not travel, if they can't find their passion. Like me and Preston,
Right.
we go back
Right.
20 years. That's one of the main things we been friends for 20 plus years. And one of my passions is actually just multimedia, whether it's photography,
Hmm.
videos, things of that nature. And I could honestly see myself having that same type of feeling of just some type of emptiness, or just being,
Right.
lifeless in the sense of, hey, I just got this 9 to 5 at like this customer service job getting cussed out every day, and then I'm back home. So I get
Right.
it. So I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I feel the same way. As far as like I said, I never like left the country until I went to the military, and my first time leaving the country was to go to Iraq. And so obviously I went there for those reasons, whatever. So
Hmm.
I didn't get a chance to be like, hey, let me walk down the street and hang out with the locals. No,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
it's my first time actually traveling out the country to actually to enjoy things with South Korea. I lived there for a year and I had an amazing time. And then once that happened, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. And now that I'm out the military, I don't travel as much as I used to. I mean, I try to go out the country 2 or 3 times a year. Now I'm about to up the ante now. As soon as
Hmm.
everything goes back to being normal. But um, yeah, having a 9 to 5, if you're a traveler, sucks. I mean, it's
Sucks.
bad. Like I go
Sucks.
to work, I'd be like, man, you lucky I need this job to pay for this travel. 'Cause
Right. No,
yeah.
that's
So,
exactly how I've been feeling too.
and that's the
It's
thing is,
difficult.
like, and that's one of the things, like, why we started this even last year. Doing what's going on now. Like, I started my own travel blog LLC last year, and that's
What's
what got
up?
me to this. And then I invited Ryan into this world because this was kind of like my idea, and then Ryan just actually was like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Let's." We did it together as far as building the Adventures with Pinterest podcast. That, hey, we just want to talk to
Right.
other travelers, other photographers, because the world is so big, but I want to make it small, like in a sense
Hmm.
of getting to know people. So
I
that this
love
is
that.
one of the things that that we could do is even during this time. Okay, you're in Chicago, but and we're on the East Coast, but we're like right here in a sense. And we're
Right.
like Vietnam. I know now to look out for monkeys. Now I did not know that.
Yeah. Watch out for them.
I didn't know Caesar and all the apes were out there just taking over. Like,
Right. Right.
so I just like I said, I think that's a wonderful thing.
Hmm.
But my next question is, how many countries have you been to? Have you
Um,
counted?
I lost count. Can I count really quickly?
Hey, go
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Go
I'm so
for it.
sorry. My bad.
Hey,
I keep a tab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 right now. 22. It's okay. I've met
Yeah,
people who traveled to like 95. So I'm like, wait,
yeah. I'm
what?
on my way. I'm at
I'm
almost
like,
40. I'm at 40 almost.
wow. See, it's like
Well,
incredible.
and that's the beauty of being in the military, like, because I got to live in Europe for 3 years, and like I went 3 years straight without coming home. People was like, "Yeah, when you come home to
Right.
visit?"
I don't know.
3 years from now, when I have to come back to America, I
And that's
start,
a hot spot because you're around by different countries
and
too,
that's
and you
how I
take that
got most of the country.
L train or something.
Yeah, like so. I had my family there as well, so they got to be exposed to European culture. Like we lived in Germany for 3 years, but um,
Wow.
yeah, so my family, we went to Italy and Czech Republic, England,
Wow.
Ireland. And then the cool part was I got to do a lot of stuff during the festival. So like Ireland, I went to Dublin for St. Patrick's Day. Like we spent like a week there type
I
deal.
was supposed to go there for St. Patrick's Day of last year, but then
Yeah.
everything happened.
mm,
I was like, what?
Hey,
This would have been
I'm
crazy.
telling you, when things get back to some type of normalcy, book it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then you have to, because I'm gonna do an episode. Well, I'll explain that later, but
Mhm.
I'll tell you exactly where you need to stay. I'm talking about exactly.
Please,
Now it is a hotel though, but the area is great. The area is great. I'll get into
please,
more detail,
please,
offline or
please,
something like
please.
that. But
Mhm.
so I was off the hook. But hey, I'm excited for your 22 countries. Do you have a end goal, or you just want to travel?
Um, no. So by the time I turn 30, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit it, but I want to travel to 50 countries before I turn 30. And I'm sure that's definitely possible.
oh
It's very
yeah.
possible. But at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is I want to travel to all 195 countries. I want to
Uh,
I want to be that person who I just want to be that weird grandma who's like, don't talk to her. She a little bit weird. Like, I see
Yeah,
something. You
yeah,
got to
that's
see
a
it
hell of
more,
a goal. Now
Yeah.
I can't do that because of what I do, but
Mhm.
that is an awesome goal. But some places, to be honest with you, I don't think I would want to go to every country. Just a
I
simple
want
fact. And there's
to.
beautiful areas in every single country, no matter what.
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
just like the danger factor is just too high for me. I'd be like,
See, the thing is, it's different for me. I thrive for it.
oh,
Like,
okay.
okay,
I thrive for it. And it's like the danger is just like, let me see how dangerous it is. I want to take my camera and prove to the world that like, is it this dangerous? Is it? Is it?
Okay. All right. I like
No.
that.
I take
Hey,
the challenge. I really want to.
hey, man, the thrill part of the game. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
like
that's
that.
it. Because I only got two
Yeah.
dangerous countries: Afghanistan and Iraq. That's the only two dangerous. I mean, like dangerous countries I've
Right.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, it's crazy though. Yeah, hey, I applaud
Hmm.
you. I would definitely stay on for the ride, and I definitely want to be a part of
Thank
your
you.
business. Uh,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ryan, you have another question?
Oh, well, yeah. I know we're coming up on our max soon, but my question, you actually just brought up a good point. You definitely said,
Mhm.
bringing your camera, stuff like that. So what do you use when you take like, your pictures? Is it just strictly cell phones, or are you using other equipment as well? Like when you take in photos to these other places?
I've for my photos on my Instagram or like my camera on my YouTube
Both.
channel.
Both, actually. Yeah.
Right now I've just been using my phone and I use Visco as for when I edit my
Mhm.
stuff. And then I currently hold the Sony camera, but I also have right now the Canon
Oh,
G7X. I'm pretty sure there's a very famous one. So this one, I just started using this one recently, so I'm transitioning over to this one. It's really nice, but I've been using the Sony one right here. But for my vlog, but yeah, most of my camera work is just either my phone or you know this camera.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. You had me at Sony. I'm a Sony man myself. So
I'm a Sony
Ooh,
person because it's great for film and stuff like that. And you said boo, and I'm like, and then Canon has more pictures and stuff. So
mhm.
yeah,
yeah,
that's just
that's
how
good.
I view.
That's
Mhm.
good stuff. He's actually teaching me how to take pictures. Uh,
Oh, wow,
I
that's
mean, we started it
amazing.
last year, but
Things,
just
yeah,
all
things
this,
happen.
we had to take
That's
a hiatus on
amazing.
it. But
Mhm.
yeah, because he's
Wow.
actually a photographer, so he has his own business, and
Wow.
so he's he got like $1 million camera. So His pictures are way better than mine. He got like 1,000
Right.
pencils. I'll be like, well, I'm gonna go get this cell phone going. And
That's me. I'm just gonna get the cell phone game going and call it a good day.
yeah, so I actually just bought my first camera last year, like a couple of months ago. And
Wow.
I just bought an old cheap Nikon, and I was like, hey, the Nikon gonna make it work.
Right.
And then once I get better and actually learn how to take pictures, 'cause a lot of people's like, what you mean you don't know how to take pictures? I'm like, all because you have a camera don't make you a photographer. You know?
Right.
And that's
Right.
what I was explaining to you guys earlier. Like when I look at your page, I can see like maybe the wheels turning. Like this is gonna be an awesome shot. Like let me look at the composition of, make sure everything is in what I want to be in the picture, or
Yeah.
what I
Mm-hmm.
want the person to, focus on. Like okay, I want you to focus on the background or me next to this, whatever. So I really are starting to understand that the more I look at Instagram pages or when I look at like vlogs and stuff like that, I'm like, oh man, that's dope. I like that, so
Right.
that's why I
Right.
would say you
Right.
keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
Exactly. No, I feel you
yeah,
on that.
yeah. And my opinion is like this. It's like I don't think photography is hard, but it's more than just point and click. Like a lot of people think it's just point and click and you're done. I think it is.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
technical. You gotta find the right angles, the lighting. If this
Mhm,
side looks good, then the other side. You know what I mean? If the people
mhm. Yes.
gotta think strategically about this.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
and that's what he was teaching
Hmm.
me. He's teaching me how to shoot on manual because I'm an auto type of guy. So
Right.
I try to shoot on manual now and actually adjust like the aperture, the ISO, and all that stuff. So
There you
Right.
go.
See, I'm an amateur, so I'm the person who's like, oh, this looks good, click. So I should start thinking more strategically about it. But yeah,
oh no, I think you're doing fine. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're doing great.
I
thank
guess
you.
I guess even if you did start thinking that way, I just think it would just enhance what you already have. Like your greatness would just be
Thank you so
even
much.
better. So
Mhm.
I think that's, like I said,
Appreciate
pretty
it.
dope. But
Thank
my
you.
last question
Okay.
is, I think it's an important one, is what are some of your essential travel items that you must have when you travel?
I'm pretty sure a lot of people talk about this, but the travel adapter is my friend. I
Mm.
love the travel adapter. Does anybody talk about it on the show?
No.
Nah, you're the first.
Wow! No,
Mhm.
what do you mean I'm the first? What are you talking about? The
Yeah,
travel adapter? I have a universal travel. Do you guys have a universal travel
I
adapter?
do.
I don't.
I take it that is a game changer. Someone like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what country I'm in. I can just able to pop the whole thing in the wall, and it's like, yep, everything. Even with my Mac, there's a. I don't know if you guys know this, but for Mac users, if you bring your laptop, there's an actual world adapter for Macs too. So
Really?
yeah, and I didn't know that until I came in, and I was like, is this a travel adapter for Macs? And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna cut myself one, and it's the best investment I've ever had. Of course, my passport, all my like documentations that I need, it's especially there. I want to get this because I've heard great things about it. An international driver's license was is good. I Do you have one?
Yeah, I had one. Like I said, when I lived in Europe for 3 years, I had a Germany license, and then if I wanted to travel, by driving, I had to get an international driver's license. And this is actually like kind of a joke because like you have your license, and to get your international driver's license, you just go and show that you already have a license, and
Right.
$20 later, you got your international driver's license, like a little pamphlet.
Really? So you think
Yeah.
I should invest in that?
I mean, if you plan on driving, if you ever like want to rent a car, yeah, you might.
I heard great things about it, but I would probably invest in that. But those are my essentials: the travel adapters, and of course my passport and my visas. And the current currency that the country that I'm going to, I try to, switch it over so I don't have a difficult time. 'Cause sometimes the airport is closed by the time I get there, and then like I need a tuk-tuk driver to get me somewhere, and it's like, well, I can't really use any money, so I'm stuck. And
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I try to like whenever I go somewhere, I used to be on the mindset of, oh, I just get it at the airport. But then I started realizing like you lose a lot of money converting at the airport or even getting
Hmm.
money at the airport. They just charge you all these fees. So like
Hmm.
now what I do is I just call my bank and be like, because I got multiple.
Yes, I was about to say the cheapest place is the bank.
Yeah.
Cheapest place is your bank
Yep.
too. Is not just don't go to straight to your bank, you'll probably even get free rates. Like you
Yeah.
probably won't even get charged at all. And it's smarter to change your currency before you go to the country because,
Mhm.
like you said, like you don't know, like if the ATM isn't working or like sometimes you get there at night and everything is closed. I've been stuck in so many situations where like that's it. I'm changing my currency before I go to the country. Like I've been to way too many situations where I'm like, I can't do this to myself.
Yeah. Like I
Right.
said, I've done that before, and I'd be like, uh-oh. I'd be like,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
don't take card? You feel like, oh man. But like I said, like a lot of times, like now, I use,
Mhm.
well, besides the taxi from the airport or whatever, when I'm actually in the city over the last couple of trips, I just been using Uber, to be honest with you.
Right.
Um,
That brings me, I'm sorry, that
Yeah.
brings me to another point. Another essential is, I know this sounds weird, but I always bring USD with me because it doesn't matter what country you're at, every country will recognize the USD. So like if you could be in some very local area, they're
mhm.
gonna accept the USD at the end of the day. So it's like that's what I've learned. Even if I like if I'm in Uzbekistan and I need to go to, Chad and I can't, because I can't take the currency in Uzbekistan and go to Chad because they'll be like this, we don't accept this currency. So I just go to Uzbekistan, I switch it over to USD and then I go to Chad and then switch it over there. So that was a huge tip for me that I didn't realize. Like, wow, I didn't know that the USD currency is well recognized everywhere in the world. So
Okay.
that's an essential for me too.
Oh, that's awesome because I know
Mhm.
when I was in Germany and I took out some dollars, they was like, "What you gonna do with that?" I was like, "My money ain't
Right,
good here." They was like,
Like,
right.
nah.
"Get that shit
I
out of
know.
here." I was like,
Right, right.
"Oh," I had that one tear. I was like, "Oh, okay, let me fold this back up." But yeah, those are good tips. All
Mhm.
right, so we're gonna transition to our rapid fire questions. It's just 10 questions. All right, whatever your first thought is. Okay.
Okay.
All right. The first question is luxury or budget,
Budget.
train or plane,
Plane.
hostel or hotel.
Ooh.
Got 'em.
I'm gonna say hotel.
Okay.
Mhm.
City life or beach life.
Beach life. I knew you were about to say beach. I'm like, beach is the beach for me.
Okay.
I can bring the city to the beach. I can bring the city to the beach.
Okay. Desert or tropical. Tropical. Cold destination or hot destination.
Ooh. 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 I really don't know. Cause hot is too hot for me sometimes. And cold is too cold for me sometimes. I prefer hot places.
Hot places. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Off the beaten path or organized excursion.
Off.
Off.
Off. Let's go off.
Okay. Photos or video.
Videos.
Videos. Okay. Solo or group.
Wow. Right now, currently how I'm feeling solo.
Solo.
But
Okay.
I appreciate groups as well. But there's something different solo traveling.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Fast food or actual like dining in, like like you know a great restaurant or something.
Ah, fast food. I'm curious about their fast food.
Okay, all right, that's the
Mhm.
10 questions. You did well on that. Got you a
Thank
couple
you.
times. Couple times you had to make a
I
decision.
know, I know. I got a little nervous. Like, wait, that's a little too. I like both the lifestyle.
Man, that's good stuff though. Hey, I'm glad you know what I'm saying. It sounded like you had fun on today's show.
I
And,
had a great time. I would love to be back on in the future, if
oh,
anything.
Oh, you
no,
more than
listen,
welcome.
yes.
Yes.
Once you've been on our show, you are family. I'm telling you,
Thank you.
you can reach out to either one of us any given time and be like, hey, I just went to wherever. I mean, even in the States,
Yeah.
it's not just about international because I was telling Ryan that I want to travel more in domestically because I haven't been to a lot of
Me.
things.
Oh, wow, I've never met someone that's like that. I've traveled more countries than I've had traveled in America. So someone's like, "You been to Texas?" And I was like, "No, but I've been to Iraq." And they're like,
That's
"Wait,
what I'm
what?"
saying. Yeah,
Like,
so
so you've been to Iraq, but you've never been to Texas? I'm
You're
like,
right.
"Yeah,
yeah, like it's funny, and like I said, I
yeah."
explained this to like our previous guest that we had on last week. I had to tell her, I was like, I've always been a person since I've been traveling like hardcore that America will be there. Like
America will be there always.
So I'd be like, why go to like, and another thing, like I said, and I also feel like America is like I said, really money hungry. So you know, I live in Virginia. So if I want to fly to say Missouri, it might be $300-400 for me to get to St. Louis Airport.
Right.
And I can fly from here to Toronto for $200 round trip. And I'm like,
exactly.
I go out the country and get an you know, an experience versus me going to St. Louis or something. So I've always been like that. You know, it costs you $500 to get across America.
America's always going to be here.
Yeah, like I can go to Panama for a couple $100 round trip. So
exactly.
Yeah. And that's the reason why, like, you know, that's the reason. But I told myself, hey, you know, I can't be a world traveler and I don't even go in my own backyard because America does have some good places to visit and
absolutely,
food or you know, just like, you know, some simple excursions. It's some things I want to do for 2021, like hiking and national state parks, you know, mountain ranges. So those are some of the stuff that I plan on doing this year, on top of going outside the country whenever we're let loose back on society.
Yeah. And to your point, man, I know me, my wife and daughter, when we went to Vegas, Preston, it was like for three of us, it was like $1,300 just to go to Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy because I'd be like, no, let's cancel this.
exactly. I don't want to go there. Yeah, maybe we can go to Walmart for vacation. So. we can go to Walmart for vacation. You know what? We can find some things. There's some posters that remind us where we're supposed to go.
There you go.
Definitely. We're not going this year, baby. I'm like, let's. But yeah, I said, I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Please send me you guys' social media handle. I really want to tag you guys on my story.
Please.
We definitely going to give you all our contact information. So you can follow us. And I definitely, like I said, I'm going to follow you and actually be active on your YouTube so I can learn from you because I just started my YouTube channel.
Yeah, and send me your links as well too. I would be so happy to exchange information and just for sure. I'm sure my followers really appreciate you guys too because they love podcasts and they always ask me what they do. They always ask me what kind of podcasts are you listening to this month? I'm like, guys, these are the podcasts that I'm listening. So I will shout you guys out. So I
appreciate it. This is a symbiotic relationship. Like I said, we just appreciate anybody and everybody that rocks with us. Genuine.
Oh, for sure. I got you. As long as if you guys want to reach out to me again, you know, I'd be more than happy to share more stories.
I definitely will reach out to you. So like I said, this is Adventure with Pictures.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry to cut you off, President. My bad. Just one more time for good measure because you've definitely been so dope. I know you gave your plugs at the middle of the show, but for good measure, you give people a plug about where they can reach you once again, Rachel.
You can reach me out at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the platforms. The tag is the same. It's Simply Geronimo. That's SIMPLYGERONIMO. Come at me, follow me, and I'll give everything back too. The love is always returned. The love is always returned.
Appreciate it.
Please do.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so like I said, this is Adventure with Pictures, and we have a Simply Geronimo on here, and we're signing out to next episode.
See you
later, y'all. Bye.